Up, everybody? Thanks for waiting. You know me. Oh, Lordy. How's everybody doing today? What is today? Thursday, right? It's a beautiful Thursday. So finally, the search warrant has been released, like the whole thing. Yesterday was weird. Like they released like that part where I was confused about because I don't know, like the part like it was like what he was wearing almost a flashlight, the gloves. But now they gave the complete list, like it's all unsealed, and so we're gonna read through it. I'm not sure if it's any of it has anything to do with the crime because you wouldn't think that he would have brought that stuff from his apartment to his parents. You know what I'm saying? He probably had gotten rid of it by then. And any like traces of DNA, I don't think would transfer to his parents' house. But this is the search warrant for his parents' house and what they took. So, I mean, they have a couple of knives, guns, probably has nothing to do with the crime. There was like masks and stuff. So maybe if they would be able to like match up the mask Dylan saw to maybe if it's the same type of mask. I don't know. Wait, what? The verdict? Wait. Hold on a second. There's no way. How is it in already? Are you serious? Hold on, guys. Hey, Dancy and hey, Dominic. Hold on. Give me a minute. That's very depressing if they I thought it was going to at least take like to like days because of how tricky that hold on. Are you guys sure? Let me check real quick. Because if it is, I mean, it's going to be distracting. So I got to know. Let's see here. Verdict watch, closing arguments. Well, where do you see the verdicts then? See, it's kind of gets distracting when people like things out. Like, is it or not? Because I want to focus on this. I don't want to be distracted. I mean, I'm on court TV. Verdict is in just under 3 hours. Okay. See, let's just worry about that in 3 hours so we can focus on this though, because it is distracting when we're trying to do something else. But it's no big deal. I mean, I want to know if it's in, but if it's 3 hours, we have time, right? And I don't want people to be all distracted. Let's see. I don't even see where it's saying that though. Okay, court TV. Where do you see that it's in? Oh, nah. Can somebody send me where you see the verdict is in? Where are you guys seeing that? Live, okay. I don't know. I'm on Court TV live. Is it on their YouTube channel? I know I don't see it either. On the TV channel. Oh, okay. That would be very depressing if they already had I mean that one day, like not even a full day, that doesn't seem right. I mean, that was a lot. This wasn't like a clear-cut case. So if they already came to a verdict, that's very concerning to me. Like, they didn't look it over, like, good enough. There should have been a lot to deliberate because it wasn't such a clear it was circumstantial, there was a lot of things that weren't so clear. Like, that's not I don't know, I'm not happy about that. I mean, either way, even if they're guilty or not, I feel like they should have given it more time and really talked about things. I still don't see it, though, but now I feel like we're all sidetracked, so I don't know. Yeah, it does. I mean, I think it's gonna be guilty because it's so quick, but I wish they would have taken their time though, so that you really they know that they really, like, talked it through. It's kind of making me mad. Tasha, you've been following it real close. Can you keep me updated on this, Murdoch stuff? And then everybody else, let's just not so we don't get sidetracked. I'll just communicate with you, Tasha, if you wanna do you wanna do it? No, it's alright, it's alright. I don't no, everybody's fine, I'm glad I wanna know, but then now I wanna get back on track because if we have 3 hours, it's fine. Um, okay, so No, Lori, you don't have to apologize. Nobody has to apologize. It's cool. It's cool. No, I am on Law and Crime. I'm on Court TV, and then I went to Law and Crime. Here, I'll share my screen. I just went to their YouTube channel. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Actually, reached and so. Oh yeah, I guess it is. Here we go. Okay. So, how long do you think we have? Okay, this is what we'll do. Hold on. Let me share the screen, and then we're gonna because this does. It's not gonna take me that long to read the search warrant. Okay, so then we could do another live on this. All right, hold on. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I'll just show you guys where. Hold on a second. Okay, so if somebody could keep me updated on that, and then when it's done, I could hurry up and get off if I'm not finished in time. Um, Let me do on crime real quick. Okay, Murdaugh trial. Alright, let me take this off, and I have it up over here, so we're gonna be good. I'll keep watching it, and when they come, I can hurry up and hop off and get on a new one. Alright, so sorry, guys. Just so this is you can't predict lives, when things happen. If something comes in, you can't predict them, so gotta kinda go with the flow, huh? Alright, so long crime. Let me just finish pulling this up, and then we'll be wow, now it's saying it's unavailable. What? Hold on a second. No. It's trying to make me buy something. Oh, wait, I had it up over there, now it's not letting me oh, there it is, okay. Verdict reached. So this is what let me share my screen. Sorry, guys. Share. Actually, let me share my entire screen. I'll show you where we're at so far with that. And I'll keep, like I said, I'll keep you updated. Okay, let me put my earphones in. Didn't think I was going to need my earphones for this, but okay. So who wants to be my person here? They could help me when the verdict is about to be announced, so I have time to get off. Does anybody want to do that? So it's not. It doesn't say when. You said within 3 hours. How long do you think it will be? Here, let me actually get my oh shoot. Let me get my whatchamacallit, a thumbnail ready. So then when it comes, I could just hurry up, end it, pop it like because it'll give once they say the jury's coming back, I'll have like a minute and I could hurry up and get off and then come back on. So hold on, let me just get a real quick thumbnail. I'll use the thumbnail that I was using. Oh, I was using for the trial, right? Okay, here we go. Murdaugh. Okay. Just do this real quick, guys. I apologize. But I'm glad I know now. Okay, Alex Murdaugh. Verdict. What should I do as the title? Verdict in? like like hold on, I'm trying to think how to word it. You guys always help me. And then I'll be all ready, guys. Okay. All right, let me do. So how's everybody doing though? They doing good? Um, how many of you have read the sorry, how many have read the whatchamacallit? The search warrant. Okay, that should be good, right? All right. Hold on, I'm sorry. Things happen. Okay, so it's still not there. I have it up, right? Actually, here, I'll put this on this one.
As a defense lawyer, it breaks your heart when they're excused, whether they get COVID or have the flu or have a car wreck or whatever the issue, or they talk to somebody about the case. They're the one you're counting on to be there for you, and to lose that person, which has happened to me, is crushing when you believe they're going to be your champion in the jury room.
So, Bob, I was relaying your question to Chris. He's surprised by this.
Yeah, first of all, it was actually, Chris will be even more surprised, 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's even shorter than that. But I'm just curious right now whether Chris or Anjanette, tell me, if you don't mind the audience, what led up to everything was going on? What's the vibe there? I know you were running around trying to find this information out. Is it pandemonium there or what?
It's really not, Bob. Shockingly so. I actually ran back to the hotel and I hesitated, but I needed to get my jacket. I was chilly. I just couldn't take it anymore. And it's 5 minutes down the road. I thought no big deal. I came walking back. I saw some activity that looked a little suspicious to me and started poking around. And, I've covered enough verdicts to know when something's going on, and they don't always give the vibe, right? They don't always give the vibe that the verdict is in, or there's no rushing around. They know what they're doing. They're not scurrying around. They've been doing this trial for 6 weeks. They need to get all nervous about doing anything. And Alec Murdaugh has been inside in his holding cell this entire time throughout the deliberations. So I kind of started poking around. People were trying to be coy with revealing whether or not there was a verdict or a question. I ran into the courthouse and I was told that they asked the jurors, do you need to order dinner? And they said, no, we'll be ready in 10 minutes.
Wow.
That's what I heard.
What?
So no dinner for the jurors. They are, I guess, not costing the taxpayers of Colleton County any more meals. So there you have it. No dinner for the jurors. They were ready to wrap it up.
Shoot, guys, well, I have the thumbnail ready for the
I felt like looking at these jurors today, and I hate reading people's faces. Some of them were wearing COVID masks. We had the juror that we think the defense liked, getting kicked off the jury, taking her dozen eggs and her belongings with her. And I was looking at them and they were paying attention to both sides, but there were a couple that would at points go, like this, like enough already, I'm done. And we know they asked for a monitor, of course, they want to look at exhibits possibly. Maybe there were a couple of points of contention or argument. So it's very interesting. And, I've been saying for a long time, I don't think, or at least a couple of weeks, that I didn't think this.
All right, what do you guys want to do here? I don't know if I should start on this or not, because I don't want to be in the middle of doing this and then I have to stop. What should I do? Ooh, are they coming? Hold on. I'll just change the thumbnail and the title of this. That's what I'll do. Okay, guys, here we go.
I understand that there is a verdict. You may bring the jury. Thank you. Madam Forelady, if you'll stand for me. Have you reached a verdict?
Yes, sir, we have.
Is it unanimous?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, if you will pass it up to the clerk, who will pass it to me. And you may be seated. The defendant will rise. Madam Clerk, you may publish the verdict, starting with the back, not with the, let's see, I'll tell you again. Starting with the back, flipping them over one by one.
Okay.
State of South Carolina versus.
Docket number 2022 GS 15-00592, the State of South Carolina, County of Colleton, in the Court of General Sessions in the term of 2022, July, the State versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh, defendant, indictment for murder, SC Code 16-3-0010, CDR Code 0116. Do you want me to turn it on? Okay. Guilty verdict, signed by the forelady, 3/2/23. Docket number 2022 GS-15-00593, the State of South Carolina, County of Colleton, in the Court of General Sessions, the July term of 2022. The State versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh, defendant, indictment for murder, SC Code 16-3-0010, CDR Code 0116, verdict guilty, signed by the forelady, date 3/2/23. Docket number 2022 GS-15-00595, the State of South Carolina, County of Colleton, Court of General Sessions, July term 2022. The State versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh, defendant, indictment for possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime, SC Code -16-23-0490, CDR Code 0549, verdict guilty, signed by the foreperson of the jury, date 3/2/23. Docket number 2022 GS-15-00594, the State of South Carolina, County of Colleton, Court of General Sessions, July term 2022. The State versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh, defendant, indictment for possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime, SC Code 16-23-0490, CDR Code 0549, verdict guilty, signed by the foreperson of the jury, 3/2/23.
Thank you. Madam Forelady and members of the jury, if that is the verdict of each and every juror, please let it be known by raising your right hands. All right, thank you. Any individual polling requested?
We do, Your Honor.
Madam Clerk, you'll need to individually poll the jury according to their juror numbers.
Number 193. Was this your verdict?
Yes, sir.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 254, is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 326, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 530, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 544,
Yes.
was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 572, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 578, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 589, was this your verdict? Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 630, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 729, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 826, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Juror 864, was this your verdict?
Yes.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes.
Your Honor, the jury has been polled.
Thank you. The jury has been polled and the verdict is a unanimous verdict. If you will bring the alternate juror out and have her have a seat in the audience, please. You can stand there or you can sit back there, whatever you prefer. Okay. Are there any post-trial motions?
None from the state, Your Honor.
We would just renew our previously argued motions for a directed verdict, and at this, on the grounds, on those grounds, we would make a motion for a mistrial and to set aside the verdict.
By the state, response.
Your Honor, based on our previous arguments, we would submit that the case properly went to the jury and the verdict is proper, and we rely on those arguments.
We've been here now 28 days, first few days of jury selection and the remainder receiving testimony, an overwhelming amount of testimony and evidence that was presented to the jury for the jury's consideration. As I indicated to the jury during the jury charge or the charge on the law, that this was a matter solely for the jury to determine. The court found at the end of the state's case that there's sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty if the evidence was believed by the jury. Likewise, at the end of the defense's case, when the motion was renewed, the court found that the evidence was sufficient for the jury to find the defendant guilty. The jury has now considered the evidence for a significant period of time, and the evidence of guilt is overwhelming, and I deny the motion. Mr. Murdaugh, you now having been found guilty of 2 counts of murder involving your wife and your son, 2 counts of possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. The burden now comes upon the court to impose a sentence. Given the lateness of the hour and the victim's rights that must be taken into consideration and complied with under the Victim's Bill of Rights, and consider what I would anticipate to be a number of people who might have something to say regarding sentencing. We will defer sentencing to a later date. Of course, the minimum sentence for murder is 30 years. The maximum sentence is life imprisonment as to each count. And on the weapons charge, the sentence is up to 5 years or 5 years, which has to be concurrent if a life sentence is imposed. When would you all like to reconvene for sentencing? I would like to give everyone an adequate opportunity to prepare for it.
State will be ready at 9:30 in the morning, Your Honor.
We could do it at 9:30 tomorrow morning also.
All right. The defendant is remanded to the custody of the Colleton County Sheriff's Department. And he may be taken away. Madam Forelady and members of the jury, I want to thank you on behalf of the citizens of the state of South Carolina and your fellow citizens of Colleton County. You did not volunteer for this service. You were called upon by being summoned to appear, and Providence have brought you to this moment in time and these weeks in time. I know that all of you have been here at great sacrifice, particularly the juror whose job was on the line until a miracle happened, I guess, that allowed him to be able to leave rather than leave after 2 or 3 weeks. But I want to thank each one of you all individually and collectively. It's not often that you're called upon to sit in judgment of the actions of your fellow man, but you all responded and it gave due consideration to the evidence. I will make no comment now as to the extent or the overwhelming nature of the evidence, but certainly the verdict that you've reached is supported by the evidence, circumstantial evidence, direct evidence, all of the evidence pointing to only one conclusion. That's the conclusion that you all reached. So I applaud you all for, as a group and as a unit and individually, evaluating the evidence and coming to a proper conclusion as you saw the law, as you saw the facts. Now that you've served for the next year, you're not eligible to serve again. Now, of course, many people never get called upon, but you're not eligible for the next year. And for 2 additional years, you can be exempted from service because no person is required to serve on jury duty in this court more often than once every 3 years. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, we will reconvene for sentencing. You all have no role in that because that's solely up to the judge, to me. You're welcome to come back if you want to and be a part of the audience if you like. I also want to thank the alternate juror who was locked away in a room by herself for these hours, who who's hung in there during that period of time. I want to thank you as well. Madam Clerk, what do you have to tell your jurors?
Thank you for your service and what the judge said as well. And I think we can release them tonight and bring them back in the morning.
No, they're off jury duty. They can come back if they like. And you don't have to if you don't want to. Typically, I've seen jurors wanting to see the end result of a case once they've invested a lot into it. It's really an amazing thing with juries. Quite often, at the start of the case, jurors are really like, whoa, why am I here? I wish I wasn't selected. But as time passes and the jurors become invested and really committed to the case and committed to seeing it through, and are very disappointed when they are not able to see it to a conclusion. And then along the way of serving, you end up finding out quite a bit about our judicial system and learning quite a bit, about human nature for sure, but also about the presentation of evidence and hearing from expert witnesses and really learning a lot of things that you'll be able to take with you when you leave jury duty. And Madam Forelady, I don't know if you were hesitant initially or not, but you have stepped up to the plate and done a great job of leading the jury as well. And thank all of you. So the jury is dismissed. Now, one thing before you go, of course, we have invested a lot in maintaining the privacy of the jury, of each one of you. And you are free at this point to discuss the case with anyone. And given the high profile nature of the case, I'm certain that many people in the media will probably want to communicate with you, but they have no means of contacting you because under order that I issued, the identity of the jurors must be kept private. And if you decide that you want to speak with anyone, local, state, nationally, or internationally, that's your prerogative. However, should anyone harass you, please let me know and I will address those issues. If anyone through somehow or another discover your identity and harass you, and rest assured I will intercede on your behalf. That having been said, you are free to communicate with whomever you might want to concerning the case from now on. So with that, thank you, and you all are free to go.
Judge, if I could
Yes.
If I could have you go to the jury room, and I'm going to meet you back there for just a few minutes.
All right.
Gather your belongings.
As is my practice, I'll speak with the foreperson before you leave the building after talking to them back there. Anything else? Be in recess till 9:30 tomorrow morning.
All right.
So what do you guys think? Yeah, I think he didn't show any emotion because I think he wasn't surprised. And I think, he is behind it. So, I mean, Buster looked like he was holding back a cry though. Who do we show on YouTube? Hey, Polly. I want to see maybe, I'm going to keep this on for a minute, just see what Law and Crime has to say about it. Not too long. And we'll chat a little bit. I really do think that they should have discussed it a little bit more. I mean, because there was a lot to go over. There definitely was some reasonable doubt. I mean, maybe not enough to say innocent, but like that they should have took time to go through it. So I'm not disappointed they found him guilty. I'm just disappointed that they didn't take the time to actually go through everything, because it wasn't like clear cut. There was some weird things that didn't make sense. But I do definitely think he's behind it. And I do think he did pull the trigger. I do have like a little bit of doubt if he pulled the trigger, but most of it is yes, I do think he did. But I do have a little bit more doubt that maybe he wasn't the only one, that there was somebody else there. But if I were to if I had to bet right now and had to say one way or the other, my bet would go, he did it by himself and he pulled the trigger. But I do have a little bit of doubt, is what I'm saying, that maybe, I mean, I do think he was behind it 100%. But did somebody help him? He just did everything so quick. I mean, he cleaned up so quick. Now, if the defense are right and that was a contact wound on his head and he was the shooter, he would have had stuff all over him. How did he clean up like that quick? And he did. I mean, I think he did, but I don't know if you guys think it was a contact wound? See what they have to say. I don't know. Like their two witnesses brought up some really good points about that. And it does explain that weird angle that made no sense if you look at it the other way. But if that's the case, like he would have had to have taken a shower and washed off, because he would have had stuff all over him. And if he didn't, then that means there's another shooter, right? So I do think there's a possibility there was too, which sucks that they never pursued at Cousin Eddie. Now, oh, here, let me see what they're saying. Hold on.
We were talking about this before with Brian, is because this defendant recognizes Murdaugh. He's going to be spending the rest of his life in jail, and it's not about that. It's about him vindicating himself and his reputation that I didn't kill my son and I didn't kill my wife, and he's not going to take a deal because he wants to go on appeal with this 404 evidence. What do you think? What does Chris think?
Do you think that part of the reason he didn't take a deal for all of this, including the homicides, was because he thought, I'll go, I'll roll the dice. They thought it was a defensible case. And then possibly he appeals on the 404B evidence. But Linda Cunningham had said yesterday that that's done because he testified. But what is the law down here in South Carolina about that?
I think it's going to be what's on the record. I would never want to put my fate in the hands of the appellate courts. And I don't mean that disrespectfully to the appellate courts, but I don't think you ever want to reject a decent plea offer if you did it, hoping that you have good appellate issues. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out on appeal. I think his leverage to negotiate a global resolution ended about 15 minutes ago, before the jury came in. Until they knock on the door and come in and read their verdict, you can work something out. But once that happens, there's no incentive for the state. Yeah,
Anjanette,
negotiate.
Right, they won.
Ask him this. I'm taking a completely 180-degree turn from that. I think Murdaugh does not want to take a deal. I think Murdaugh wants to be found either not guilty. He knows he's spending the rest of his life in jail. He wanted vindication for the murder of his wife and son. So for him, he won't take a deal because he wants to rely on the 404 on appeal.
Bob thinks that he didn't want to take the deal because he wanted to be vindicated. That there's a reputational aspect of this. We heard that testimony about how he was very concerned, possibly more than his other siblings, about the family legacy. His number one priority after the homicides, according to Marion Proctor, was clearing Paul's name, not finding the killers. So the appeal on the 404B evidence, though,
I think the bigger question is, why would he go to trial if he could have resolved it, especially when he had so much liability on the financial crimes? And, he has people in his family who believe in his innocence. And what the jury just found isn't going to change that or shake that. And those are his support. Those are the people he loves and cares about the most. And I I don't know what the future holds, but I would anticipate that they're going to fight for him for years to come and not accept that the jurors got it right. The rest of Colleton County may accept that the jurors got it right, but those closest to Alec are going to believe him for a while, and he'll be able to litigate about whether he had a fair trial or not.
Yeah. And Brian, thank you.
There you go, Bob.
Yeah, Brian, this is exactly what I'm saying, though. See if you work with me on this. We're in studio. It's a little easier. That's exactly the point. He's going to be going into jail. He knows that. That's why he got on the stand and confessed to crimes that he knew would put him in jail for the rest of his life. Why would he do it? He knows he's going down, but he doesn't want to go down as a murderer. And when you're in jail, Brian, you know, I know, having family support and people that believe you, whether right or wrong, and trying to be vindicated on appeal is a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, going to jail is one thing. Going to jail for a specific thing is a completely different thing. Being a murderer in jail, the way that the guards will treat you, the way that the other inmates will treat you, and the way that your family may or may not treat you is also a big component. Family visiting individuals who are incarcerated can make that life sentence feel a lot shorter. But being isolated in a jail when your family believes that you killed your wife and your son is a much different sentence. That's just for the average, ordinary person. The one thing that I definitely think is true about this case, and I mean, maybe not the one thing, but multiple things, Alec Murdaugh has a high sense of pride. And I think that the punishment of him knowing that he is guilty of these murders is a punishment far greater than any amount of years in jail. And so I think he's really going to try to push hard on trying to win that appeal. And then maybe, as you're saying, I don't take a global disposition. I fight this appeal, clear my name, and then I go and resolve the other cases.
Yeah, I think this is a fascinating question because the possibility of a global resolution, I think, is going to be more thwarted by Murdaugh than I think it is by prosecutors, but we're only speculating. All right, Anjanette, Chris, thank you very much. I know you guys got a lot going on down there. We'll sign you guys off, and maybe we'll see you later. Great job, guys.
Yeah, we think there's a press conference about to start, so we really need to kind of run over and check that out, Bob. Sorry, there's a lot going on down here in Baltimore tonight, so sorry if we've been whittling around a little bit.
No worries, Anjanette. Be well.
I'm gonna put it on mute for a minute. When that press conference comes on, we'll watch it. It'll be on. They'll play it on this, right? So anyway, I know. Me too, Island Girl. It was really quick, huh? You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna pause.
I think it's really important. Murdaugh's an attorney or was an attorney. There is different kinds of time you do in jail. And I'd like you just to tell the audience a little bit more about the difference of maybe a financial fraud guy is one thing, but killing your wife and kid, that in the code of conduct, if you will, to make your life almost segregation eligible.
Yeah, I mean, it's a number of things. So he volunteered as a prosecutor. My first thought is, are any of the people that he prosecuted going to be in that jail with him, right? Maybe not. The other thing is, as much as those people who are not in jail, who have never spent time in jail, may think, well, one criminal is just as equally bad as the other criminal. No, there's a hierarchy. There's a standard in there. You killing your wife, that's bad. But clear across the board, you killing your son and doing it in this manner, jail, they have TV, they have news, they know who's about to walk in probably tonight, if not first thing in the morning, and they're waiting for Alec Murdaugh. And so being in jail for a financial fraudster as a former attorney, he's going to be living a lavish life. He's going to be in there probably writing appeals for his other inmates. He's going to be giving them information on the law library. It's a much cushier life. His family's going to come and visit him. He'd probably even still have access to Maggie's estate because he's not convicted of murdering her. A little bit of extra money while he's in there. It's a better life. But being found guilty of killing your wife and son, the way that others will treat him, he'll probably be in segregated population. He's not going to interact with people. Being in jail just by yourself with no one visiting because they believe you killed your family, different life altogether.
Yeah. So what do you think is the conversation going on right now between the attorneys and their client at this point? Because they've suffered a profound defeat in such a short verdict.
I think the conversation is pointed. They all know what's the next. It's going to be the conversation of what are we going to do next? What are we filing? How are we going to file? What are the issues? What are we going to argue? When can we get this to the appellate court? Can we...
Hold on.
remanded.
Okay, so what now?
Not went off, but it stopped and wanted to come to take it. So
See if
should I wait till Frank?
my mom. Yeah, just wait till my mom comes.
Yeah. Should I wait till she comes?
Yeah, just keep him down there till my mom comes. Yeah.
I'll just sit there
Okay.
then,
Okay. All right. Bye.
Out of the jail
like-
to do this
Oh,
trial.
they're not starting yet. Okay. All right. So see with the press conference, we'll watch that, and then I'll start the other live with the Brian Koberger live after we watch the press conference. Thank you guys for letting me know that the verdict was in. I would have never even checked today. I would never even have guessed. I wouldn't even have guessed that they would have had it in tomorrow. I was guessing like mid next week is what I would have guessed, like a few days, if not week or something. I mean, because there was a lot. I mean, there's a lot to go through. It just 2 hours, like on a complicated case like this. I don't know, dude. I mean, yeah, I think they came to a good decision, but wow. Yeah, I was thinking maybe like next Wednesday. Yeah, that was my grandma. You have to. I told her that a million times downstairs about Zeke, but she just doesn't understand. She keeps forgetting. So it's yeah, he's kind of learned to just be like, yeah, like just go along. It's just hard when she gets like really upset and like cries and like like yesterday I came downstairs and Zeke came to say hi to me and he was on her bed and like she's like, I lost all this. I can't find all his stuff. I'm like, all of what stuff? Like all the stuff he had on him. I'm like, he had a harness on him. I was like, the harness is right here. She's like, no, all the stuff, just the stuff he had on. She's like, I don't know if I'm dreaming. So she dreams a lot and then thinks it's real, But yeah, it's normal. I've been watching like a lot of Alzheimer's, like and like dementia videos. Like people there's a lot of videos where people will like video like their mom or grandma or whatever. And I've been watching a few different ones just to kind of like compare, and yeah, it's crazy. There's this one called this one form of dementia called begins with an L. And I've been watching this Molly that had it. Her son taped her. She's so cute. I love her, you guys. She died, but she was so awesome. So I've been binge watching all of that. But she had this kind of dementia that's I guess that goes really fast. It like takes a hold like really quick. It progresses. Louis something. What's it called? Louis. I can't think. I'll have to look. But I'll have to play some videos. She's so adorable. Like I love her. And then there's one that has Alzheimer's, this guy where he's like to a point where he can't, I think he died already too, but like he couldn't talk. Like he got to a point where he was like, and he couldn't talk, So I'm just like kind of comparing to see what to expect, my grandma, but my grandma's still talking, but there's another one that I watch. The guy, he's so cute. I guess they're really big on TikTok, but I've been watching them on YouTube. It's the son has his dad, and there's I think 4 sons, but the 2 sons take care of the dad. And he reminds me of all 3 that I watch. He reminds me the most of my grandma, like her dementia or whatever. They're really similar. But they're so cute, man. Louis' bodies. Yeah, Louis' bodies, dementia. My mom said that's one that acts really fast, right? It progresses fast, dancing Danielle. Do you know? So the girl that I watch is her name was Molly. And I think I did the math and I think it was like 12. Wait. So she got maybe 14 years or something from when she was diagnosed to when she died. But she was only, I think 68. I have to go get the details again. I think she was 68 when she was diagnosed with it. But Lewy body dementia. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jamie. Yeah, we're just gonna wait till this starts and we'll watch this, guys. Let's just chat for a little bit while we're waiting. I'll turn on the audio when it comes on. So oh wait. Oh, Robin Williams had the Lewy body. Is that what he had? My mom was telling me that Bruce Willis just got diagnosed with some form of dementia where he's like it's going real bad, like it's real quick, like he's real bad, I guess. He can't I think he was in the middle of maybe making a movie or something. He can't. So that it's just But my grandma, I mean, she's 92, I think. 92 or 90. No, she's 92. You know, I mean, lived a great life. I mean, that's a great life. She's still physically, she is like on it. She's walking every day. She has her walker. She doesn't need her walker to walk, but she walks every day, like almost like all throughout the day, like all around the house. So physically, she's doing really good. It's just mentally. And when she got COVID a year and a half ago, like when we all got it, my dad died and she got it, my other grandma got it, my other grandma died. Crazy. It was a crazy strain, I think, that one that we got. But that like progressed her dementia so much. So like made it so much worse, but then she got a little bit better from it, but overall it made it a lot worse. So I guess like when you get sick, it makes it worse. The dementia for some reason, like when you get like a flu or any kind of sickness, when you have it, it like makes it a lot worse. So, wait, yes, poor Bruce Willis. Wait, is this?
We were talking about instances where.
Okay. He did any in every movie there for a bit. He did like any other frontal temporal. Okay, front or I can't talk. Oh my God, sometimes I cannot say words. Frontotemporal dementia. Okay, there's so many different kinds, huh? Yeah. How old is Bruce Willis? That's why every movie Bruce Willis was doing was the exact same role. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand where I don't like that. I agree as Hockett when people automatically like say like if somebody gets a lawyer, oh, they must be guilty. Why wouldn't they just talk freely? They must be no, because the justice system isn't always just. There are people that are convicted of crimes and they are innocent. So you would be like, be smart. This is your life. And just because you're innocent does not mean that you shouldn't get a lawyer and be smart about it because you could still get charged and convicted and be innocent. So, but I just hate how people jump to that where it's like, well, no, if you're innocent, why you get a lawyer? They must be guilty. They got a lawyer. They're not talking. No, that is smart. That is your life. Like you're talking about murder cases, like that is your life. And that is your right. Get a freaking lawyer, innocent or not. Oh, I said that weird, but yeah, it does not mean you're guilty. It means you're smart. Like, get it? Like, because you see how police do it, and like a lot of the times they're wrong or could be corrupt, or I mean, you just never know, and you don't want to risk that. Let's say you're innocent. I mean, that would be your whole life. Oh, God, it would suck. So yeah, no, I agree. Anybody gets charged, get a lawyer. Because you just don't know, and like you could say something innocently and that could be held against you, and you know what I'm saying, and you don't realize. And yeah, get a lawyer. I agree. I'm always like when people like talk, I'm like, God, that's stupid. Like, don't just get a lawyer. I don't care if you're innocent. So what do you think they're going to say in this press conference? Who do you think is going to be talking? I wonder. I mean, oh, does it help with dementia and stuff? Go Batman. Is that like good for your brain? Yeah, I agree, S. Hockett. Moonlighting. I don't know what that means. Moonlighting Days? Is that a movie? If it is, I never seen that one. Yeah, they aren't. Thank you. I agree, Austin. The DA's office. Okay. Die Hard. Yeah. Let me see what I think he's
To
just
say to him,
testing. Okay. Yeah, they are. And sometimes they might actually legit like think you're guilty and you're not because they don't know. It's always like they you got to clear the person close to you. And let's say you're just like nervous and you just say something that's, I mean, you just never know. And it's like it looks, they try to twist it and like whatever you say could come back. I don't know. Yeah, it's just tricky. So I would always get a lawyer, especially if on a murder case. So I want to watch that Murdaugh. So you have the Murdaugh, the Netflix. I want to watch that. I still have to watch that, and I still want to watch the HBO. But I think people said it was on CNN. I still haven't watched that. So that's 2 different ones, right? How many are on each? Like how many episodes are on each? Does anybody know? Wait, what was Lavina? Lavina, tomorrow I'm going to try to go find a box to mail that quilt. I'm trying to figure out because the post office I go to does not have a big enough box for those. But somebody said UPS. So if I just brought the quilt into UPS, they would just find a box that it would fit. Is that what you guys, the people that recommended that, is that what you said? I'll probably do it tomorrow, Lavina. I hope I still have your address. Will you email me your address one more time? Because it's probably way down now on my list. And I'm going to send it out. I'm going to try tomorrow. I should do another giveaway, guys. I never did the one that for the out of country people. I didn't forget about that. Find a body. Wait, what do you mean, Hussein? What did I say? No, but I did mail out all the other ones. Like that week, all the other giveaways. I mailed it out, but I couldn't get in touch with her. So yeah, no, I haven't yet. But I'm usually pretty good at it. It's just like the way it all happened where I mailed all the other ones out and I couldn't get a hold of her. And then when I did, then I went out of town. It's just the way everything happened. But I don't want you guys to think like, oh, if you do giveaway, it's going to take forever to get it. Because normally I'm pretty quick on it. Ask the other people that got giveaways. I got them out right away. So, no, I know you're kidding. I know, but I'm just explaining because I do feel bad about it, that it's taken me so long. It should not have taken me so long. Oh, okay, Alan. 3-part. Are they both 3 parts though? Is the HBO and the Netflix, they're both, because those are 2 different ones, right? And they're both a 3-part series. Yeah, Zeke is a barky. He got his hair cut. Maybe I'll show you. I should have brought him in when my grandma came up. He got his little haircut, which I like. He was looking so cute and shaggy, and I want to like enjoy his shaggity shag. It's so cute. But my mom insists every 3 months haircut. And I try to like, Mom, can we go 1 more month, please? Like give him 4 months or 5. I want to enjoy his shaggity hair. And she won't let me. So she has him like on this schedule where it's like it just like every 3 months that he's scheduled. And I'm like, well, in the winter, can we go an extra day, like an extra month? And yeah, he's so freaking cute when he's shaggy. What are you going to do with your quilt, Lavina? Like, are you going to hang it up? Or are you going to... Hi, Capra. Wait. Capra Corpse. Hey, Capri Corpse. Capra Corpse. Wait, Capra. Capri Corpse. Capri Corpse? Capra Corpse. Capra Corpse. I mean, I think it's the verdict. I'm happy with the verdict. Yeah, I mean, I think they made the right decision because I do think he was guilty. I do think he definitely was behind it. I'm not sure. I feel like there's a possibility that there was somebody else too. I still would like to look more into and find out more about why cousin Eddie failed a polygraph about that. That makes no sense to me. But I was wondering, I was talking to Juliet the other day about that. What if the reason he failed the polygraph is because maybe, what if like Alec told him about it, like that he did that. So he just knew something about it or something. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't necessarily for sure you think mean he's involved, even though I know they're not admissible in court, but it does stand for something. But I wonder maybe he just knew about it because Alec confided in him, or was he a part of it? Did he take part in it? Wait, there was another scenario that I was telling her about. Now I forget what the other scenario that I came up with. The three reasons he may have failed. One, that Alec, told him about it. Two, that he was involved. And three, maybe Alec asked him to do it and he said no or something. I mean, I don't know. So therefore he would have knowledge, which would maybe make some kind of deception. You guys, hey, behavior panel did analysis on Alec's testimony. So some of the things that I picked up right away, or they brought up, which I'm not sure if it means anything, and I haven't got to watch it all, but like when they originally asked if he killed Paul and Maggie, and he was like shaking his head yes while he was saying no, and he did that for a few different things where it was like when he was saying no, he was shaking his head yes. But then I was trying to like think, if you watch him through the trial, he does that. So is that like his kind of baseline thing where he like moves his head like this a lot? It's like, I don't know if it's a stress thing. So I can't figure out if he's doing that and it means nothing and that's what he just does. What I think we'd have to do, and I think is what they did, is like compare the rest of the testimony. Ooh, here. Oh, bye, Alec. Sorry, buddy. You can't do that in life.
And there he goes. Okay, Brian. So, not good. That guy.
Like I was saying, the defense, we know the defense, what they're aiming for. They're aiming for 30 years, the lowest sentence, to run concurrently. So both murders running at the same time. The prosecution is probably going to be looking to get 2 life sentences to run consecutively. So what arguments are going to get you there as a defense attorney? I think at the end of the day, because of the heinousness of the crime, and then we're getting some insider information that this is not a judge who sentences lightly, we're probably leaning closer to the prosecutor. So I think on top of any arguments for appeal, they're also going to probably make an Eighth Amendment argument that a first-time offender should not get the higher range of sentencing, and they'll add that to their argument as well to try to reduce any jail time.
Yeah, and you make all great points, and that's why you're a great defense attorney. But I am sure prosecutors are going to spin around to talk about this guy who's an attorney, an officer of the court, defrauding people, because it's still part of the case. It's part of the res gesta. It's part of the motive of the case, and did this specifically to keep himself out of legal trouble. I think this kind of judge, when I see this kind of judge, a conservative, hard sentencing judge, is going to look at that as a major aggravating factor. And of course, Brian, you know this as well. In most states, there's a doctrine called no free crime. In other words, each defendant should be charged for each of the victims. So I see this as a much different case. That way, I know you're making the defense argument. In the end, what do you think the judge does? I say he can sex them.
I think he can sex, yeah. And when we say consec, we're saying putting them together one after another. So either 30 and 30 or life and life. And I also heard that if he gets life, I kind of caught this with Judge Newman, if he gets life on the any of the murder charges, the gun charges can also be run consecutively as well. So they're pushing it even further out. I think he gets it. And I think the argument the defense is going to make is he's a first-time offender. Look at all the positive he did as an attorney prior to his fall from grace. It's like a lot of the police officer cases that we see where there was good before they were bad. But I think that the bad far outweighs any good that he probably did in his past. And I think that's where we get, I wouldn't be surprised we get 2 life sentences run consecutively.
I mean, we're 2 seasoned trial attorneys, and I think we agree, and I think everybody that's been analyzing this case from a homicide perspective, as both a prosecutor and defense lawyer, I don't think I've seen anything as twisted as a motive as this. I mean, and when I say twisted, I mean for such a self-absorbed thing that didn't have to happen, and to do that to 2 people that you're supposed to love and protect makes this, I think, one of the worst homicide cases I've either been involved with, and I've had some bad homicide cases. It's the.
Let me mute this. That's the thing. The motive is so stupid. Like there's no reasoning. That's another thing that makes no sense. But it could just show you like he said, how pointless and how like evil, or not, I don't even know if you call it evil, but like how self-absorbed it is. Because there's not, I mean, he's not going to get anything out of it. All he's trying to get out of it is sympathy, and maybe where people give him a break for everything he's done. You know, usually there's a motive, there's like money involved, or like, you know, heat of passion, I mean, something, but like just because, oh, I want sympathy. Oh, if that it really is the motive. Oh, I just want to get a break, and maybe people would give me some sympathy. It's like, but that's one of the reasons why it gives me a little bit of reasonable doubt, because there's not a really strong motive. Like, why did he do that? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. There was no life insurance. I mean, so freaking weird. Oh, thanks, Pin a Rose on your nose. I like that name. Pin a Rose on your nose. It's awesome. Hi, Jessica Lynn. I know, to kill your own child. So, question: how many of you think that the defense was right and that was a contact wound? So that would mean that Alex like basically stood over top of him, put the gun to his head, and shot. How many think that they were right, or how? And then how many think the prosecution was right? Maybe I'll do a poll here real quick. Here, let me put this on.
Not here, as obviously we're both alluding to. There's no insurance policy for money. It was just sheer naked to delay or what have you. Why do you think this wasn't a death penalty case?
That's a really good question. I would have put it on the table. I'm a public defender. I'm Canadian. You could probably all guess how I feel about the death penalty in general. But if it's on the books and you have a case this malicious, I would think that the people of South Carolina and Colleton County would have put it on the table. Maybe they thought they wouldn't get it because, hey, we've seen the Parkland shooter and that person wasn't put to death. I think maybe the general tone or tenor of the country is that we're maybe moving away from the death penalty because, and I don't mean.
That's true. It makes me wonder if we're missing a motive, if the state is missing something here. Like maybe we're missing something. Maybe there was something going on. Maybe like something happened in the moment. Maybe his Paul called him out for something. Maybe Maggie called him out for something. He got mad. Maybe what if cousin Eddie was going over there to do something, to deliver something, and he got caught up, and I mean anything, but I feel like this motive, like maybe that's why it makes no sense. Maybe we are missing the reason, and maybe none of us even know. And maybe there's something way more that we just don't realize of, because that motive sucks. It's hard to it's hard to believe it, because it makes no sense. No life insurance. I mean, like what? How is killing them going to help his situation? I know the sympathy, but really it's just going to procrastinate. It's just going to give him a year or a couple months to okay, it's okay, Alex. Then it's going to come right back on you, buddy. It doesn't just go away, But here, let me do a poll real quick, guys.
Forward from the Parkland shooting. Is it a different state? Yes. Is it different circumstances? Yes. Is it different aggravating circumstances? Of course. But that argument still exists, and that's what we as defense attorneys do. If this person is this bad and got this, then my guy should get less. I mean, if you have any siblings, you probably do the same thing too. My sibling wasn't allowed to do this, so I might not be allowed to do it, but if my sibling's allowed to do this, then I should be allowed to do that as well. It's the same concept.
Our producer, Christina, has a very prescient and interesting statement talking about the victim impact statements that we anticipate we'll hear at sentencing. Keeping in mind that Buster, as we talked about before, is a victim in the case. Yet I think we would kind of say he was supportive of the father during the trial. But Brian, he would have a right to speak as a victim in the case. So what do you think we're going to hear?
I think it's going to be very powerful. I think it's going to be interesting. So I don't know what we're going to hear, but I will give you the two versions that I think we will hear. We're either going to hear Buster saying, I get what the jury said. I respect the jury's decision. I myself might not be an attorney, but I am the son of one, the grandson of one, the great-grandson of one, and I respect these hollowed halls. And in respecting that, I ask that you give him the lowest sentence, 30 years, run consecutively. Or we're going to get, you guys got it all wrong. My father would never do this. This is not the man that he is. He told you the truth. He did this. I do not think you guys got it right. I'm going to stay tethered to my father and that he is innocent of these crimes and we will fight these crimes. And that's it. I don't know which route he's going to go. Maybe it's a mixture of A and B, but I think those are the two most common or the two most probable things we're going to hear from Buster if he takes the stand as a victim in the victim impact statements.
Yeah, Brian, I had a very negative experience with a court recently on a situation which I felt it was very, very important that the defendant's family have an opportunity to speak prior to sentencing. And at least in our state, the victims and the victim's family has a right to. Certainly, everything's within the sound discretion of the court to what extent they're going to allow things. Again, us now defense lawyers, I felt that it was important for the judge to listen to the mother and at least give them the courtesy, the respect to be heard about their son. That didn't happen. Do you expect that we'd see something like that here, though, that people from the Murdaugh family are going to be allowed to testify on behalf of the defendant?
I would think so. I mean, I admit I have researched South Carolina law up until this point. And after I'm done here, I'm going to go research the Victims' Rights Acts in South Carolina. I'll be able to give a much more articulate answer. But I would assume that you have to let Buster testify. And once you let that door open, you got to let other people as well. Because if Buster says he wants to testify, you're not going to say, well, Buster, what are you going to say? Who are you going to support? And then based on his answer, say, yes, I will, or yes, I won't. So if you open the door to Buster and he starts supporting his father, I would assume that you would let others go. Now, Maggie Murdaugh was not always a Murdaugh. That is her married name. I would assume that her family, prior to being married, or that side of her family is going to testify and talk about how they lost a member of their family that married into the Murdaughs. I would expect a lot of those people to testify in that case for the victim impact statements.
You know what, Brian? I wish we had the YouTube so we could answer questions, but we really don't need to because I got a whole line of producers. I got Christina, our producer, telling us about our other producer, Elizabeth. They're asking some killer questions, really good. And yes, we have talked about 404.
Okay, so I kind of worded that weird. I didn't know how to word that poll. Oh, here we go, guys. They're coming
Verdict
out.
would have been the same had 404 evidence not been allowed in, or would there have been a longer? Okay, guys, we have the press conference, so we'll get to that question afterwards. Let's go to it.
God bless you. God bless you.
Y'all might have to come around this side. Y'all be patient. There's a lot of us coming out. How are we on the mic check? Thumbs up. Thank you. We got our team out here. Wow. What a great day for the people of South Carolina. I want to thank every one of you for being here tonight. There's a lot of emotion here tonight at this courthouse. A lot of a year and a half, nearly 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears, it feels like. A lot of hard work from so many people. So if you will just bear with me, there's a lot of people I have to thank. But first, those of you who don't know, I'm Alan Wilson. I'm South Carolina's Attorney General, and I got the best staff of any Attorney General in the United States of America. I want to start by thanking our prosecution team. I want to tell you, I've been here for nearly 6 weeks with this team, living in a hotel, and it felt almost like being in a dorm environment in college. Late nights, cramming, studying, little sleep, away from our families, getting up early, getting here to the courthouse, working long hours, getting on each other's nerves at times. But it was all worth it. It was all worth it because we got to bring justice and be a voice for Maggie and Paul Murdaugh and bring justice for the people of South Carolina. I'd like to start real briefly by thanking our team. First, excuse me, let me put my glasses on. Our chief prosecutor, I tell you, I appointed Creighton Waters to be the chief prosecutor of this case nearly a year and a half ago. And I want to say I'm pretty brilliant because I picked the right guy. And I want to say thank you to Creighton Waters. Creighton, you did a fantastic job. I don't think there's another attorney in the state of South Carolina that could have led this Herculean effort. But Creighton will be the first to tell you he didn't do it alone because he had a team of people. I want to first thank Don Zelinka. who is actually Creighton's boss. He is the Deputy Attorney General, been in the Attorney General's office for over 40 years, sitting here to my immediate left. Don Zelinka, thank you so much. John Metters, many of you got to see him do the closing argument today. John, thank you. You've been a phenomenal add to our team. I'm going to go quickly through the names, but as I read the names, please raise your hand. You know Creighton, you saw Don, and you see John. David Fernandez, John Conrad, Johnny James, Savannah Gowd, Ozzy Toledo,
Yes.
Shane Aceto,
Yes.
Carly Jewell,
Yes.
Carson Burney,
Yes.
Danielle Colon,
Yes.
and our victims advocate, Trisha Allen.
Yes.
I also want to say thank you to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. Mark Keel assigned some amazing men and women. And when I say it was an agency-wide effort on behalf of SLED, I can't underscore that part enough. Every time I called Chief Keel, every time I reached out to the lead agents, every time Creighton was asking me, hey, General, we need something from SLED, we would reach out to SLED, and they were there. They busted their butts. I can't begin to list every agent. And some can't be listed for obvious reasons. Some are standing up here tonight. I told them I wasn't going to mention their names, but we would not be here if it wasn't for SLED. And I want to thank Mark Keel and his team and all of the men and women across the entire state law enforcement division for what they did to make tonight a possibility.
Amen.
I also want to thank the FBI and the Secret Service, our federal partners. We had to utilize many of their assets and resources. We couldn't do all the things that we did without our federal partners. We had a lot of local partners. We had the Colleton County Sheriff's Department, Buddy Hill, Sheriff Hill and his team providing the security. They did a phenomenal job, and they were there. They were the first responders the night on June 7th, 2021, when Maggie and Paul were butchered brutally. They were the first responders, and they were the first ones to be there. The Charleston County Sheriff's Office, the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office were instrumental in supporting our investigative efforts. You all know Kenny Kinsey, our chief crime scene expert, was with the Orangeburg Sheriff's Office. I also want to thank the city of Walterboro. I think the mayor is here somewhere, and the police department. They provided security. Thank you. This whole community has embraced our entire team, and I cannot thank you enough. We've all been away from our families, 2 hours away from our families for the past 2 months. And it's this community that made us, we would walk into restaurants and people would come up and thank us. You know, you don't have any idea how good that makes people feel when they're under an incredible amount of stress, an incredible amount of scrutiny. And this community really embraced us. I want to thank the Colleton County Clerk of Court, Becky Hill, and her entire team and their staff. I don't know. I call her Becky Booth. That's her nickname. But Madam Clerk, wherever you are tonight.
General,
I'm sorry. That's my pet name for her. But I want to thank you, Madam Clerk, for you, the entire team, the bailiffs, the court security, the staff here. There was no role that was too small that they weren't willing to do for us. The security team here, it was a Herculean effort by everybody, and I can't thank enough people. I don't know if I mentioned the bailiffs, but I want to thank them. And there's another group of people who you don't know who they are, but that's the jurors. And not just the jurors, but the alternates, the ones who didn't even get to serve to the very end, but people who were taken away from their families. I want to thank the families of our jurors who sat here every single day for what seemed like long amounts of tedious, monotonous information and evidence. Sometimes people didn't know what it meant. They didn't understand it. And they had to sit there and process it and hear it over and over and over again. And I want to thank these nameless jurors whose identities have been protected. They may make their identities available to all of you at some point, but they sat there and they delivered justice tonight. And I want to thank them for their role in this process.
Amen.
You know, Winston Churchill said, democracy is the worst form of government except for every other kind. I kind of want to adopt that and say we may have the worst criminal justice system in the world, but it's better than every other kind that there is. And our criminal justice system worked tonight. It gave a voice to Maggie and Paul Murdaugh, who were brutally mowed down and murdered on the night of June 7th, 2021 by someone that they loved and someone that they trusted. And they couldn't be here to testify for themselves tonight. Their testimony came through the evidence and the information that was gathered by the men and women of the agencies I've just mentioned. It came from the testimony of the agents and the investigators and the attorneys and the folks in our staff who were able to get it to the court record. And so I want to say tonight, their voice was heard tonight and justice was brought for them. We can't bring them back, but we can bring them justice.
Amen. Amen.
I started off my remarks by saying that it is a good day in South Carolina.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Today's verdict proves that no one, no matter who you are in society, is above the law.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
A lot of people doubted that this process would work, and hopefully, for those who did doubt the process, hopefully we have instilled and put a little bit of faith back into you and your lives as you view this process as it unfolds. I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of the men and women standing behind me tonight. And there's been a lot of emotion. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I saw firsthand for the last 5 or 6 weeks the countless nights where you were up beyond midnight and you were getting up before dawn, not eating. I was watching Nancy Grace the other night and I heard her call Creighton pale and gaunt because Creighton wasn't eating and sleeping. He really wasn't, folks. I'm serious. So, you know, we would have to bring in kind bars and things to eat during breaks. But Creighton, Herculean effort, my friend. And I am truly honored to have you on our team. Thank you for being a great leader and a great chief prosecutor. And I would like to invite you to come up here and make some remarks for the folks here tonight.
Thanks, everybody. And I want to start by thanking this guy who's given me and all these folks behind us opportunities to do justice, which is what we want to do with our careers. It is very tough and demanding, but it's rewarding for moments like these. The general stole a lot of my lines, but I also want to thank the jurors for their long and arduous service. And we had no doubt that if we had a chance to present our case in a court of law, that they would see through the one last con that Alec Murdaugh was trying to pull. And they did, and we're so grateful for that. I get to lead the state grand jury section in the Attorney General's office. This particular case is not a state grand jury case. There are other indictments that are state grand jury. But the one thing about that is that I have an amazing team. And I want to be clear, this was a team effort. Y'all saw all of these folks behind me doing amazing work. And I can't be prouder of a team in my life. We called this our Super Bowl, and not because of the media attention, but just because of the effort that we knew that we would have to put into this. And we didn't really get to watch much of the Super Bowl that went on because when we arrived, I think it was winter and it feels like spring now. But every single member of this team, every single member of the state grand jury staff, what we do well is work together as a team in complex investigations, and who we work with is my partners at SLED. And I can't thank them enough as well because we're used to working on these complex cases and working together. And I'm not leaving out Sheriff Hill and the Colleton County Sheriff's Office and our federal partners in Orangeburg and Charleston Sheriff's Office and all the other agencies that have worked on this case. I also want to thank Ms. Becky, if she's still up there, because she's been amazing. The clerk staff has been amazing. The court staff has been amazing. The bailiffs have been amazing. And again, I also want to thank this community who really has embraced us and has been so great to us and made us able to survive this process that has been long and arduous. And I have been sleeping. I hadn't been. And I have been eating more than kind bars every now and then. But, and I'm sure that's a nice plug for kind. But anyway, it really has been a great process. We will have sentencing tomorrow. Obviously, we're not going to comment on sentencing because that's still pending. But justice was done today. It doesn't matter who your family is. It doesn't matter how much money you have or people think you have. It doesn't matter what you think, how prominent you are. If you do wrong, if you break the law, If you murder, then justice will be done in South Carolina. And I think South Carolina has shown to the nation and the world how a process can work and work well. Thank y'all.
And also, I want to thank Creighton. I told Creighton, I said, Creighton, I'm going to come down and I'm going to be just a staff attorney. I know I'm your boss. I'm your boss's boss's boss, but I said I'm going to come down and I'm going to help. And I said I'm going to follow instruction. And I hope I was true to my word. This past weekend, I said, what can I do to help? I said, I'm willing to take a witness if it'll help. He said, actually, it would. So he let an old prosecutor dust off his cleats and get back in the game and to help the team out. And
I got to be the boss of the boss for a while.
Yeah, don't get used to it. No, but in all seriousness, I'm proud of the decisions that I made in putting the people behind me and to the left and right of me in charge of this case. And I was honored to be part of this team. Just another member, just another worker bee in the trenches trying to bring justice to the people of this state and to bring justice to the people who couldn't be here tonight because they were brutally murdered by someone they trusted. Now, with that being said, I know a lot of people want to talk to us. A lot of people want to talk to some of the attorneys and the support staff and the agents, investigators here tonight. Some of you want to talk to me and others. We're going to make ourselves available to you. But like Mr. Waters just said, tomorrow there's a sentencing hearing, and we don't want to get out in front of our skis. And plus, I'm starting to feel the rain come down. But I promise you, we're going to make ourselves available to talk to members of the media, to talk to all of you out there that have questions. We'll answer any questions that we ethically can. We hope you'll continue to be patient with us as we finish this process tomorrow. Again, we're going to go back and get a good night sleep tonight. But again, thank you. I'm going to also, one last group that we didn't thank, the media. You all, I know a lot of people in this, polarizing world we live in, a lot of people take shots at the media, but the media was incredibly respectful. You were so good, not just to us, but listen, to the families of the victims, okay? I know this is an awkward situation, but, you protected the identities of people and, you protected the process. And I want to thank you for your part in this and telling the stories, educating the public on what's going on out there. So now I'm going to stop speaking as an attorney general, and I'm going to close as a father and as a husband to say that when you go home tonight, hug your loved ones, hug your spouse, hug your children, because this case reminds us of anything, but you can't take for granted that people in your family are always going to be there. And right now, when I get home tomorrow, I'm going to hug mine, and I hope you hug yours. But thank you again. Thank you for your prayers.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your prayers. You came and prayed for me. I see a lot of people come and say we're praying for you. We appreciate your prayers. Thank you all so much. And this is going to conclude this press conference. We look forward to talking to all of you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna let you go right here. I just want to thank you and your staff. Y'all just did a good job. God bless you. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all. And thank the media.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer. There you are. Proud prosecutors brought me back to the day, Brian, when you had those press conferences. I was saying to you when it started, ladies and gentlemen, please don't think that this was not a completely orchestrated thing. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but it is very, very important. As you can see, Brian, a lot of law enforcement agencies are involved. A lot of people participate. Some people think that the government has too much resources and things, and defendants don't. But you have to be very, very careful in this environment to make sure you thank all the various people that participated. And it can be daunting because there are so many people. The Attorney General, I think, did a very good job. I was very impressed with the comment he made, and I'd like to agree with it, among other comments. But he said, I think it was the AG or the prosecutor, that they were proud of how they did it and how it showed the rest of the world. I think they ran a really good trial. I think it was sophisticated. I think the lawyering was great on both sides. I thought they did a great job, but I think that they were proud of that, Brian. I think that they wanted the world to see that we're not, kind of reminding me of my cousin Vinny. We have ever a sophisticated system of justice as you do in New York. What do you think?
Yeah. So I'll say this. I'm a public defender. I'm defense orientated. If you've heard my commentary, I am always critical of the prosecution because my belief is that a strong defense makes sure that the prosecution gets it right. I will continue to be critical of all prosecutions, probably because it's fun, but it's also, if I'm critical and they get it right, then I know they got the right person. And I think in this situation, our criticism of the prosecution poked holes, saw where they were weak, but saw where they were strong. And I think that they did get it right. And I think that this is their opportunity to get up there and say, thank you to everyone. Thank you to the people who participated.
All right, guys. Well, that's that. What do you guys think? Oh, wait, how did that go? Okay, here we go. Oh shoot, Juliet. Hi, Juliet. Hey, cutie. Do you want me to? Are you trying to watch this? You mean? Is that what you're talking about? And I just muted it. What do you guys want to do? Do you want me to start the other thing? The other one? You think they did well? Really? I don't think they did. The state, you do? Yeah, I'm gonna start a new live. Hey, Sandy. A conference about the conference. Yeah, right. Wait, you guys could hear me, right? Hey, Selena. All right, so I didn't even watch the closing arguments actually. Let's see what else. Who else do we got in here? What do you guys what do you think? I'm gonna see what the poll is real quick and then. Oh, you can't hear me? Well, no, if you're answering, you could hear me, silly. You're silly. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. That's the biggest, that was like their biggest piece of evidence right there was that he lied about that. That's like one of the biggest things, definitely. I know, I did think that, Hossein. I thought for sure I had time. I thought it was going to be like midweek next week for sure. Yeah? Zeke. Well, I'm on a live though. Hold on. All right, hold on, guys. He's not gonna stay because what I'm saying is he's not gonna stay because I'm on a live. Come on, Bubba. All right, you gonna stay? You gonna stay? Come on, Bubba. You guys want to see Zeke stir? Hold on. Okay. All right. Here's a Zeke stir. Here, let me remove this. Zeke. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but here's the Zekester. I don't think he'll stay though. Oh, so cute. How cute. He got his hair cut. He got his hair cut. Yeah. So cute. Okay. I don't know if he'll stay. All right, so Yeah, he's got the St. Patty's Day thing on. They always do like the holiday, whatever the holiday is. um all right, so I haven't seen, I know, isn't he a cutest? Dancing Danielle. All right, so you guys ready for the next live you want to do? I don't even know what else to say about this. I'm just like surprised. I feel like they should have talked about it a little bit more, but they didn't. Oh, magically delicious. Ah, I love it. Yeah, I know. He actually showed emotion today. Yeah. He's adorable, I know. All right, so yeah. Yeah. Hey, Koala. Yeah, I'll probably just do a quick Idaho. I just want to go over the since I did this one too. I don't know. No, I don't think she's ignoring you. Why do you think that, Dom? Juliet, are you ignoring Dominic? Oh, because you asked how her weekend was. Is that why? I don't know. Trying to be like the intermediate. Hold on a second. Let me find my one message. Hold on a second. It was so good. I was so proud of it. Hold on. I gotta find it. It's way up here before I leave. Where is it? Hold on, guys. Where is it? It was it was a response to yours, Juliet. You know how I get proud of mine. But I can't find it. Shoot. It was the one with the because it only lets me go up so far. Something about utilizing assets or whatever. I had a good one. I want to like screenshot it because it was a good it fit perfect. I don't know. I can't find it, guys. Can you guys scroll up? Oh, maybe if I go to the YouTubes. Yeah, but if I go to the YouTube side, I won't be able to put it up on the screen. Never mind. Anyway. All right, guys. So you guys ready to... Oh, hi, Maurice. Are you guys ready to go on it? What's gosh darn it, Ausane? Hold on. Maybe I didn't even send it. No buys out. Sorry, I'm looking for something. Hold on. Where'd it go? Cute. Oh, there it is. That one, Juliet. Did you see that? That was to your message. I'm all proud of that. I thought it was pretty what's the word for it? God, I'm having one of those days right now. I can't think of I need to go on my walk. I'm gonna start doing lives while I walk, guys. I was this close to doing one on my road trip though too, but I didn't. I even had like the thing ready to put on my like to hold my phone and that you stick it into the heater thing. I had that ready and then I ended up, oh, you know why? It's because I had ice. And then I was like, no, I can't, I have to concentrate on the road. So I couldn't do it because I was scared. But remember, I was talking about maybe doing it so I didn't fall asleep. But it had me so nervous that I was like wide awake. So I was good to go. No, that's what I said, Bob. Oh, you knew that. Oh, okay. Now, where did mine go? Oh, well, it's gone now. I had it up. Hi, Marie. Oh, yeah, I already said hi to you. What did Alsane say? Yeah, clever, wasn't it? But what did Alsane say? Screenshot it for you, Zav. Oh, you did? Thanks. Thanks. I wanted Juliet to see it. Did she see it? Juliet doesn't believe in weekends. I don't really have weekends. Fast replies usually go in favor for defense. No, I agree. Like once we realized that it was so fast, I was like, I knew it was going to be guilty because if it wasn't, it would have taken longer. No, I agree, but I just think that they should have talked it out a little bit more, you know? I mean, it wasn't like a clear-cut case where it was like, oh, I mean, I think it's for sure that he was involved. I mean, he's, you know, he's definitely behind it, but I don't think it was that clear that it was like I mean, I just think there was a little bit of reasonable doubt. I do think they made the right decision though. I know I keep repeating myself, but like, I just can't even believe 2 hours they said, like they had it done in 2 hours. How the heck? Even like more clear cases take longer than that. I don't get it. I'm still like in shock. I still wish they would have gave it a little bit of time, at least a day to sleep on it, you know? Wait, you missed it again, Juliet? It was my cute message to you. Oh, dang. Let me go find it again. I wanted you to see it. Hold on. But now, oh, here it is. Oh, wait. What's going on here? Oh, no, that's just that. All right, guys. Well, Zeke, come here, Bubba. Yeah, let's do a thing and we'll do, how many of you guys want to do the Brian Koberger one? No, I'm on behind now. Hold on. I thought it was sexy. No, it is. It's like cute. I liked it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm ready. I haven't heard all the new stuff. Okay, cool. Wait, where did it go again? Oh well, now I wanted to see exactly, but it's too late now. Okay. Hold on, Zeke. Hold on. Well, let me go back. Let me go back real quick. Where do I have it? All right, I'm gonna go. All right. All right. All right, bye guys. I'll see you, Brian Koberger. We'll just go over the I'm just gonna go right now. So just come on over. I have the reminder already up. So just go over there. We'll read the search warrant and we'll call it a night. All right. Bye guys.